really build out our solar in the region. So that's city buildings and in the private sector. And we do have a zero net energy goal in the state for new construction. So that will be important because that's, again, going to set the standard for how we should be designing and constructing new buildings. So a lot of people say to me, how in the world are we ever going to get to 100% renewable energy? Because sure as heck, SDG&E does not want to get to 100% renewable energy. That's not really in line with their corporate game plan, which is, they're owned by Sempra. Their parent company is a gas company. I mean, their whole business model depends on building out natural gas, especially in other countries. And moving that, exporting that gas, importing it, that's the hub of their business model. So 100% renewable energy doesn't really fit in with that model. And this is, something also, I was going to say that other cities have realized, but it's not only that's not their business model, is that the city doesn't have jurisdiction or control over SDG&E, right? They're their own entity. They're a monopoly. They're regulated, but they're a monopoly. So as much as we can say to them, we have a goal of 100%. Can you work with us? I mean, they can say yes or no. It doesn't matter. We still can't hold them accountable for doing that. There's nothing we have nothing to tie their hands. So for them, it would be an empty promise at the most that they could make. And that's just the way our existing electricity system is set up, right? You don't have an option. When you move to San Diego, where are you getting your energy? SDG, period. There is literally no choice. So the best and only option for us is what's called community choice energy. In fact, there's a huge state battle going on around this, but this model is sort of a hybrid between what we have now, which is a monopoly, and what LA has, which is like the movie Chinatown, which is full municipalization, where in LA, they fully own, operate, transmit their own energy, right? They don't have a utility, a monopoly utility. They own it at the city, LA Department of Water and Power. So the hybrid model is what we call community choice, where the existing utility, SDG&E, would still deliver the power, so they would still have all their infrastructure, all their pipes and wires to deliver the energy. But what we would do as a city is we would take back control over what kind of power is going over the pipes and wires. So we would get to purchase on the open market for every resident, every community member in the city of San Diego, green energy, or whatever energy portfolio we wanted to put forward. But it sort of puts us back in the driver's seat, at least, again, what kind of power is flowing over the grid. So again, we're not going to be delivering the energy. We're not going to be managing the transmission distribution infrastructure. That's going to stay with SDG&E. What we get to do is compete on the open market and purchase energy for everybody. And so it's a model that was set up by the state in 2002, and it's been adopted in 2 different counties thus far, and a lot of different cities are moving forward with studying this program opportunity. I'm very excited to say that we are actually in a technical feasibility study process. So we're in the first phase of evaluating whether this makes sense. I mean, you do have to be deliberative, and you do have to be thoughtful, and you do have to make sure it makes economic sense. You have to offer competitive rates. I mean, that's the bottom line, right? If we're going to be competing and offering a choice with SDG&E, then we have to offer competitive rates. And so that's the study that we're doing now.